p.m. ready for our scheduled meeting. Call the meeting to order. We have quorum. No one has asked to speak, so everyone has seen the agenda. Can I get approval or a motion to approve the agenda?
I will.
I'll second.
First, second.
First and second, all in favor? Aye. Opposed? No one is opposed. We are here to discuss the bids for our middle school secure entry project.
Stephen, do you want to?
Sure. Yeah, one of the attachments sent out was a combination. So we had the post-bid recommendation letter, which included our formal bid tab, which essentially just shows you the bidders that showed up, what they did, alternate bids, and then this version also includes a budget breakdown. We did have one bidder per package. We were expecting two for a couple of the packages, but they didn't show up on bid day. That said, we got full coverage. Bids came in, you'll see for the overall project cost came in 4% over. We just believe between the contingency on this project and where we're currently sitting with issuances 2 and 3, which would be the high school and the intermediate across the street, that we can figure out how to make that overage work at 4%. Now, if it was much higher, that'd be another conversation, but with this one, it is a renovation, so there will be some contingency used here, but we are doing well on the other two projects in terms of contingency remaining.
So you think we'll be able to absorb this additional cost over what we were estimating?
As a total,
As
overall,
a total,
yes.
overall.
Yep.
And we also put 25,000 contingency in this budget as well.
So
we're
if this goes perfect, we have no surprises when we rip open the ceiling or something like that. We're actually $1,115 over.
And this is a newer building we're working on, so it shouldn't be.
Another piece of this,
Many surprises inside school.
with any school project, we're going to include what's called owner GCs. That's owner general conditions. Typically, that's going to be used for spot pots, dumpsters, things the owner provides that we don't put on one specific contractor, since you have multiple prime contractors here. If you had just a general contractor and then all the subs, they'd likely take care of some of those general conditions. You take care of those directly, trailers, trailer rental, things like that. We have 10,000 in here, but we already have spot pots outside. We're gonna have spot pots outside while we're still doing the renovation next summer. Now, our renovation ends in August of 25. This is projected through October or November, I think, of 25. So there is a little gap there, so we may eat into that a little bit. But that said, it's very possible that there is a portion of that budget line item that gets put back into the project.
Okay.
That's certainly a trend we're seeing on the other two projects, because you also have owner general conditions on those as well.
Okay.
So at the end of the day, our recommendation overall would be to approve. Taking it a step further down from that would be which alternates to either reject or approve. And the alternates were threefold. We had one, which was replacing the exterior front entry vestibule door. So if you're walking up to the middle school, to get into the building, it's those sets of doors on the outside. Then you have another set that creates the vestibule. What we're saying is, in the base bid, include the replacement of those doors. The deduct we got from bidding for that is, I think, $3,000, which in our opinion, if you just called us today and said, please replace these doors, in our opinion, it would be more than that. They also need to be replaced. Mike helped consult with that, Mike Dare, so we had some facility feedback.
If you could get those doors replaced,
Yeah.
just the doors or the whole frame, everything?
The doors.
Just the doors.
But you have hardware on those doors. It's more than $3,000. The hardware's probably.
Yeah.
So we would propose rejecting alternate one. So leave the new doors in the project. Alternate two, the base bid scope of work would be to include the wood slat feature. And if you could scroll down, Jenny, to the rendering, this is being duplicated as of right now. This wood feature is in the high school plan for their new office, which we're constructing now, and in the intermediate school. They replicated it in the middle school, but we captured it as an alternate because it's aesthetic. There's nothing else to this but an aesthetic value. Now that said, this space will look
sound baffling.
maybe a little bit of sound attenuation. That said, though, this will have a drastic different appeal than all the other spaces. The ad for, not the ad, the deduct if we remove this is $13,050. Now, aesthetic value is a little subjective when it comes to, you know, what kind of dollar amount you're gonna place on that. This is not something that can be easily added after construction. If this gets rejected, or if the alternate gets accepted to deduct this scope, you'll have ceiling tile that carries all the way to this wall, and this wall will just get painted. It's fine, we'll make it look good, but you can, but this won't be easily added in the future, because you'll have ceiling tile main runs, these bars that go all the way across. Those aren't as easily just taken down. You gotta take them down, trim it back out, this is a framed in hard lid ceiling, and then you attach wood slats to it. So, not something really that you can just kick the can on. You could, but it'll cost substantially more. Then again, it is aesthetic only.
Is that, I couldn't really tell either, but that's a desk area, so there's people
Two.
sitting behind that?
Yeah, these are two
Two
reception chairs right here.
Plus you have lighting in there,
Yeah.
above there. the way I-
Yeah, I mean, you would just end up with lay-in lighting like this if we did a grid.
No, but I mean, you have that other lighting in
There it is.
there.
Yep.
So that would have to be, yeah.
And we, as a facility committee, discussed, so Greg, Greg, Jade, and Jim, that we kind of went back and forth, but honestly, the middle school is not getting very much at all in the renovation when it comes to everything, and this would make 3 of the offices look very,
Well, I'm kind of thinking $5,000 from the GC, and if we can find 8 from the contingencies, save 8 in the contingencies, we gotta pay for it.
well, that was kind of our
That's kinda
discussion as
how
well,
I'm looking
and to put it back in later isn't really gonna probably be an option.
Right.
So if it were something we could just do a little later,
To me, it's uniformity.
Yeah.
You know,
I
it's-
agree.
it's-
Yeah.
And it's not exorbitant, it's
I was-
Yeah, it's
13,000,
not-
you know what I
yeah.
mean?
I was more of the other way until I heard about the GC and the fact that we have a 25,000 contingency, and if we don't use it, that could take off the overrun plus the other contingency, so, yeah, I agree, I would.
Yeah, we were just the consistency, I think.
And then alternate 3 was an ad. This is the only ad out of the alternates. This was to replace the mechanical grills. This is an actual unit, but if you can picture just an egg crate, essentially what's in the middle of that square, but it takes up a ceiling tile. It's a return grill. It's where the air gets sucked back up into the plenum. They have them over there. We're going back with the same size of grid layout. The thought was you could reuse your mechanical grills. They're $1,200. That said, we took a look at them. Josh, our superintendent here, took one down. They're easily cleaned. We would propose just rejecting it. If it turns out that they fall apart or they are trash, we would just buy them directly. We wouldn't even put it back in the contract, because we can just set those in the grid. That's not bad. So, our recommendation is to approve all the base bids and reject all alternates.
Okay.
So what they're saying is,
Reject the first 2 deducts and reject the last ad.
All of the base bids, is that what you
Yes.
said? And reject the, what?
Reject all
the deduction.
Reject all alternates.
All
All
alternates.
alternates.
Because they were at $1,200 for that. and we
Alternates.
just-
They were
Just to
adding that.
remove
Well, I say
those
reject,
ads.
we looked them up.
Yeah.
Quarter of that.
had to listen to it carefully.
In other words, we're going to approve 4% over budget. Or what-
Yes.
what we-
That's what we're proposing.
So we just gotta find it elsewhere.
There you go.
Okay, so the board recommends the approval of all the base bids and will reject all alternates as presented.
Can I
Okay.
get a motion on that?
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All in favor.
Carried.
Al and Jen.
And I believe that's it. So, can I get a motion to adjourn?
I'll make the motion
Second.
to adjourn.
All in favor?
Okay, are we giving Al the second?
Yep.
Okay.